Hello, everyone, and welcome to UBS Trending. I'm your host, Anthony Pastore. Multicultural investing reimagines the overall investor experience. In creating a multicultural client segment here at UBS, we intend to meet multicultural and allied investors' needs through unparalleled access to the people, ideas, and investing solutions that serve the changing face of wealth. All that to say that I'm about to get into this discussion and this new directive with my two colleagues here from UBS, Melinda Hightower and Karen Sundaram. It's so nice to have you both here in the studio. And I know for both of you, and Mel particularly, as you are the head of the newly launched Multicultural Client Segment, congratulations. I know it only launched recently. A lot of work went into that. So good to have you here, and thanks for taking some time to sit with us today.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, and Karen, welcome. So
thank you.
Let me ask you then, Mel, probably the big question that most people who are maybe hearing about this for the first time or haven't really delved too much into it is, why is having a multicultural segment at UBS so important?
You know, it's so great, Anthony. I don't think I've ever been asked the question of why do we even have it, right? So I think it's first because we at UBS understand that the financial industry was not built with inclusion in mind. Women, people of color are among the many groups whose needs aren't fully met by the traditional wealth management model. So UBS recognized its responsibility as the largest wealth manager to lead the way here. Not only that, it really just makes sense from a business perspective. For multicultural investors, this significant and growing community of 1.8 million individuals strong with 4.85 trillion in investing power, you must engage them. They are the future of wealth.
Well, I'm glad I actually asked you the question, since you said you're not really being asked it very often. It feels like that would be one of the first things that people would ask. But thank you for responding to that in such a beautiful way and for explaining it to our audience. But here's the other thing, and I know you and I chatted about this off camera recently. What is the competitive advantage? What sets us apart from our own competitors in not only the space itself, multicultural investing, but in the financial services industry?
Yeah. So when I look across it with UBS versus our peers, as I like to say it, we differ in three main ways. The first way is while other firms are really locked in on a single race or ethnicity, we take a nuanced view here. We know that we live in an increasingly multiracial, multi-ethnic society, so we need to work towards solutions that are inclusive of multiple cultures while recognizing that each culture is unique. Second, being part of a broader client segmentation strategy here at UBS, which includes the women's segment, Rising Gen, athletes and entertainers, it gives us the ability to provide even more tailoring. Culture is an important part of our identity, but it isn't the only part that influences our financial priorities and decisions. For example, you could be a Hispanic business owner or a millennial woman of color. The partnership that I have with my fellow segment leaders means that we can readily address all of those wealth journeys, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Third, our approach is client-centric. So as we think about corporate philanthropy being the vehicle of choice for most financial institutions, and it continues to have a key role, and we should intentionally connect in that way. However, we have to champion inclusion in our core business, our financial advice business, to advance generational wealth. That's why I'm so excited to have the opportunity to work with folks like Karen, who heads up inclusive investing, to ensure that all investors see themselves here at UBS. It's what makes her work so critical. So from the way that we give advice to the solutions on the shelf, we really are ultimately trying to ensure better advice for all.
Right, that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
And everybody deserves to have advice, and everybody who wants to save for themselves, for their families, invest wisely, everyone should be able to go to an advisor, have a conversation, and that should be the end of it. So it's amazing that you're shedding light on something that has been sort of lacking along the way, and it's really important that, and I feel like I really believe that as a firm, we've really focused on culture and diversity and equality and inclusion. All things that are important to me and my loved ones, and I know obviously it's important to both of you. So Karen, as Mel said, you're on the solution side of the business. So for you probably get questions all the time. Why does diversity? Why does equality? Why does inclusion matter? We understand from a cultural perspective, but from the investment side, what's the case here?
Thank you, Anthony, and I'm excited to be here. Honestly, diversity, equity, and inclusion are topics that are relevant for all investors. We continue to hear about the increasing risks to society posed by inequality. Our Chief Investment Office, for example, has published a number of articles and papers on the topic, and you're likely noticing that mainstream media, whether Bloomberg, CNBC, they're addressing this more frequently also. So there's tremendous economic growth opportunities available if we can close or reduce the systemic gaps related to wealth and improve access to quality healthcare, housing, or education. We also think that firms that are truly focused on addressing those gaps are well positioned to observe growth opportunities. And honestly, discussing diversification in the investment industry is nothing new. Here we're simply layering on the nuance of diversity of identity and diversity of backgrounds. So I can start with myself. I was born and raised in British Columbia, Canada, the daughter of Indian immigrants. Mel, I know you were born in Detroit, and Anthony, Bronx born and raised.
Here, here. Boogie down.
But as a team, we each bring these unique experiences to the table. And if we were to form a portfolio management team, we would be more likely to avoid groupthink. We would leverage these unique experiences to recognize different opportunities, to see different risks, to potentially source innovative prospective deals from our networks. And this is what inclusive investing is. It's making space for all of us, Mel, Anthony, me. And as the investor landscape evolves, it's important for the industry to evolve with it. My team and I are focused on ensuring that ample inclusive investing solutions exist to meet our clients' needs, which will inevitably vary both across and within cultural groups.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us, Karen. It's incredibly important to be having these conversations. And you're right, everybody has a different background. Even people that grew up in the same neighborhood from the same demographic, everybody's got a different story to tell. And when you expand it culturally, it's the diversity that comes in when it comes to thought and when it comes to experiences just changes the way everyone thinks about the world around them. And then everybody works together for a common goal. But that diversity of thought is so important and so crucial to any business's success, certainly. From a client perspective, though, Karen, clients who are watching this, or maybe they're having conversations with their advisors, from the inclusive investing side and the solution side, what can they expect from us at UBS?
Our clients can expect us to serve as a trusted partner and receive the same quality of tailored advice and solutions as always. I mean, investors generally are showing greater interest in better understanding the impact of their investments on society and incorporating these considerations into how they both construct and manage their portfolios. And then we are committed to helping our clients incorporate diversity, equity, and inclusion into their investment decisions. No matter your story, if your goal is to use your investment capital to try and increase inclusion and access to capital for diverse groups, our mission is to provide the information and the advice that will help you select those appropriate investments to meet your goals. I mean, at the end of the day, we all just want to be respected for who we are. I'm a woman, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a finance professional, but I'm also an American, a Canadian, an Indian. These are all important aspects of my identity. The values my parents raised me with, if I look back, it was to work hard and seva, which translates loosely into selfless service or giving back to your community. We each have a unique story that informs how we want to live our life today, how we want to plan for the future, and the legacy that we want to leave behind. And as we build those relationships with our clients, understanding those exact stories is essential to help us develop that cultural fluency that we need to best serve their needs. So that will help us realize our firm's purpose of reimagining the power of investing and connecting people for a better world.
Thank you, Karen. I love the passion that you bring to this conversation, and clearly it's perfect for you. This role that you have at UBS is perfect for someone who has that kind of passion. So Mel, here's really the million-dollar question. There's no one in this room or anybody who watches this program who doesn't understand that there has been a light shed on cultural inequities over the last 2 years. And, you got to break a few eggs, to make the omelet. And I think that having those difficult conversations has led us to a place where we can actually grow from what we're learning. So from the UBS side, with everything we've seen for many, many years, but really over the last 2 years, how are we literally putting our money where our mouth, well, maybe not literally, I think that word is overused, but how are we figuratively putting our money where our mouth is and supporting the communities that are part of the multicultural segment?
Right, and so I love this question, right? Because it's really about how UBS is walking the walk in its own sort of corporate pocketbook, right? And so we're looking for inclusion in our solutions, our company, and I think that last piece, our society. So first, we're a member of the Museum of African American History and Culture's Corporate Leadership Council, which we made a financial commitment to advance that wonderful museum's mission to document and promote African American life, history, and culture. If you had not been, you certainly should go. We are also a founding corporate member of the Asian American Foundations, and we're looking to build capacity, empower, and invest in the AAPI community. And what I'm most proud of is that we took our Paycheck Protection Program fees and we donated them to organizations that are serving multicultural communities. And a few that I'll highlight here is that Carver Federal Savings Bank, one of the largest African American operated banks in the US, was a recipient. National Coalition for Asian Pacific American Community Development, a coalition of nearly 100 community-based organizations that are focused on improving the lives of 2 million Asian American and Pacific Islanders living in poverty nationwide. And finally, the National Association for Latino Community Builders, which provides technical assistance for Hispanic and Latino small businesses. Those are a few of the ways that UBS is really serving its purpose and really making sure that they're leading by example.
Thank you, Mel. It's a mouthful, and it's a great mouthful. It's so nice to see the support that we're providing in the community aspect, and even financially helping some of these organizations to get more notoriety, get people in the door, raise awareness more and more and more. So thank you for what you're both doing, and thank you to your teams who have worked so hard to launch the multicultural client segment at UBS. Great to see you both. I know we'll have you back in. We work and surround ourselves with the men and women in your area of the business, as you said, with Carrie, Wale, and James and Giselle running all those other client segments. Important stuff happening at UBS. And Mel, welcome to the segments and UBS Studios family.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. Look forward to coming back.
You will. And Karen, thank you so much. Great for all the work you're doing as well.
Thank you, Anthony.
Great, thank you. And thank you all for watching and tuning into this great conversation. For more information, you can visit the newly launched website, ubs.com/multicultural-investors. It's right there on your screen, so you can take a look at that. And for more information about UBS and what we offer to our clients and to the communities that we serve, visit us on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Plus, you can check out all of our past UBS Trending episodes on demand and on the UBS YouTube channel. And as always, if you do have any questions about your own portfolio, make sure to speak with a financial advisor. And until next time, I'm Anthony Pastore. Have a great day, and remember to keep your eyes on what's trending. We'll see you soon, everybody.